I had a profound conversation this morning, brothers and sisters. And I need you to check out this profound conversation I had. And it was with someone who's close. And I asked him, like, can I talk about this a little bit? He said, sure, sure. But it was someone that once followed the Nation of Islam or whatever the case is. And he was asking me, what exactly is this? Because he noticed being around us, he came to the release of our album debut, Music with the Purpose. He came through, and he was overwhelmed with the love he received from the church members, the brothers and sisters who are all participating in making that particular release a blessing for all who've attended it. He couldn't believe the uniformity, the organization, but above all, he couldn't believe the love he's seen shared one amongst each other in that room that night. So I've never pushed, what I believed on people around me, ever. If you come around me, I'm going to treat you like Christ would treat a brother or sister. That's it. But I've never said, brother, there's something you need to see, or I'm going to give you this. No, it was only through his walking, his normal walk amongst us, that compelled that brother to ask me, what is this? He said, I was once with Nation of Islam, but it seemed like I can only go too far with that. And right now, I'm at a change in my life. I mean, I need some answers. Now, of course, I can't go through the whole conversation, but in a nutshell, I said this. I'm like, listen, brother. I said it just like this. I said, brother, the Nation of Islam, or what you would call Islam itself, it played its part in an integral point of history for our people, which cannot be denied. But at that time, the book was still sealed. Daniel said, at the end, the book will be open, knowledge shall be increased. And that's the time we're living in now. So Islam played its part for that time, but it wasn't time. Christianity played its part, but the book was sealed. And Christianity took our people through some tough times until this day. It works as a facilitator, or what you would call, it works as a go-between in search of righteousness or in search of the Most High, like many religions are today. And that's what I said for it. I'm like, but Christianity, when we were learning Christianity, the books were sealed. And he was like, what do you mean the books were sealed? I'm like, listen, we didn't know we were the people of the book. They were sealed. So Christianity and Christians and European Christians were able to take advantage, of us, knowing that we were a people void of understanding our history. Right. And we were void of understanding where we fit prophetically. Right. And then I began to talk about Islam. Immediately, when I talked about Islam, I'm like, listen, brother, that Nation of Islam played an integral part that was needed in the upliftment of our people, beyond any shadow of a doubt. I believe the God who's with us now guided us through Christianity to have us understand what it meant and what it is and what it was, the same way he has guided us through Islam. He was still with us regardless. And he was like, well, that's deep. I'm like, yes, he never forsook us. He promised that he would be here for us until the awakening. And I'm like, you sitting here talking with me today, you and I are a part of that awakening with the books open now. The books are no longer sealed. And I said, listen to this here. Immediately, the brother started going into a few things like, well, that he understands Christ is a prophet, this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, I can accept you saying that Christ is a prophet, right? I can understand that. I'm like, but who told you that? You learned that through Islam, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, okay. Huh? No. He said that Christ was just a prophet. But I know where that comes from. And I said, well, listen, isn't it deep that religion have to downplay Christ to get any level of notoriety? If Islam is the way, why even speak of Christ? I don't have to speak about Muhammad. Muhammad was an Arab. So Arabs cannot relate to our plight and what we're going through. So the same way they have downplayed us, they have downplayed our Savior, Christ. I don't expect them to uphold Christ as the Savior because he came for us. And he looked at me. He's like, well, that's deep. I'm like, yes. Because if Islam is the way, they shouldn't have to speak about Christ at all. Just speak about Muhammad and bring whatever thing you're bringing. But you need to downplay Christ because why? You cannot ignore his place in prophecy. The fact that he came for the fatherless, the poor, and that he was the greatest threat that led to his death was the fact that the Romans feared that he would bring forth our kingdom in the height of their kingdom. I'm like, does that sound like someone that's just a prophet to you? The same as they want us dead? Hey, I'm like, look at us. This is what they wanted for Christ. So, hey, if you want to talk, we can talk. But the point about it, and I mentioned to the brother, I'm like, the key point I want to tell you, brother, is that regardless of those religions, it's not what you are to these religions. I'm going to tell you what you are to me. Right? I'm like, you're my brother. Right? The creator is both of our God. But guess what? There's a title. You are a prince of the power. You are a prince. Our name, Israel, is to be a prince of God. And we have yet to collect on our inheritance. I'm like, so what you see amongst brothers and sisters in the love and the unity and all that, I'm like, no one rehearsed that. This is what Christ taught. What you've seen in that room is what Christ taught us. What you're inquiring about is Christ. All right. I'm like, we didn't rehearse that. The love you've seen amongst these brothers and sisters, all of us, is genuine. And you can only get this through reading that Bible. I'm like, listen, you learn Christ through people who hate Christ. And I'm like, let's go back to our king, King David. By the way, he was a black man. Let's go back to King David. And I said, King David gave us an insight to this conspiracy. He was like, what you mean? I'm like, see, when you are oppressed or suffering, we can only see the earth through our oppression and our condition. But when you are a king, like King David was, and free from oppression, you begin to view the world from a governmental vantage point. You're not viewing the world through not being able to eat, not being able to take care of your children, separated families and oppression. So we have to view this earth differently, my brother, is what I told him. I said, we must now, being a prince of God, we must view our scenario from the outside, right? Like king, prince, and we must look at this as a government now. Now, our King David in Psalms 83 gave us a tip to this conspiracy. He told us that our brother Esau, who's the so-called white man or European, and our brother Ishmael would come together and conspire against us and say, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. I'm like, so, hey, do you expect an Arab to tell you you're an Israelite? When our king told us of this time in which the Arabs would hold up their head against us in pride and hide the fact that we are really the true people of the book? Do you expect them to tell you that? There go Islam. It played its point. It played its purpose, but it's not for us. It's for Arabs. It's for them because they had to make a new Jack religion after being rejected by our God, by our father Abraham, and by our mother Sarah. They have a problem with us. So, hey, Islam played its part, but it's not for us. It's so that Ishmael can control us. That's why when they speak of our Lord and Savior, he's just a prophet to them. But he's more to that for us. He's a savior for us. He's a path for us. Now let's go to Christianity. It helped us through our oppression, slave ships, and it was a way to escape, the negatives that come from being less than 3/5 of a man. Right? It played its part. But now the books is open. The books are open now. There's no more secrets. The book is clear for anyone who would like to read it. There's no doubt about it that there's no people in this earth fit the prophecies of the children of Israel suffering oppression in this earth like our people. And I said, hey, go down the line. Have Chinese people been brought over in cargo slave ships and through their oppression, a whole Babylonian system sprang up? Did that happen to the white people? Did over millions of white people, when did black people drag them in ships and made them serve like black people served in Egypt? Right? I'm like, what? I'm like, so Christianity served its purpose at that time, brother, but it's pagan. I'm not a pagan. I'm a prince, and so are you. The book belongs to us. Let's stop viewing the Bible through the Gentiles' lenses. Pick up the book, the King James Version, who was a black man, and read the book. And the Most High will speak to you. And without me teaching you anything, you'll come to the same conclusion I've come to. We must be those people. And the brother, he embraced me, he hugged me and says, listen, I know what this is. He says, when I'm around you, when I'm around the brothers and sisters, the love, I know that's true. I know it's true. He says, I don't need to read anything right now because that's why I'm asking you. Just point me in the right direction. He says, anything you have in the future, just send it to me. Anything you got that you feel I need to see, let me see it. And mind you, folks, I wasn't trying to proselytize. I didn't ask him about what's going on and whether or not he's following another religion. Our actions, our walk amongst him compelled that brother to ask. Now, I just wanted to put that out there. And all praises be to the Most High. And then, of course, the brother, strong brother, but emotional, was like, listen, brother, thank you. I'm like, listen, brother, You don't have to thank me. Why? Our God said that this would happen. Our God prophesied that in the land that it was said, ye are not my people. There it shall be said that you are the sons of the living God. You don't have to thank me. The inheritance is yours also. It's not my inheritance. It belongs to you. The question is, do you think the Arabs is going to give you your inheritance? That's the question. Do you think some organization that was established through Gentiles, do you think they're going to give you your inheritance? So you don't have to thank me, because why? To do this work is our reasonable service. It's the least we can do. Born in sin, all the evil we have done in this earth, and Christ still has forgiven us. Okay? All of us have done things worthy of death. Every last one of us. Who am I or anyone else to take credit for what the Lord prophesied would happen before there was any such person as Rawchaa or anyone else living on this earth, for that matter? This is our service, to deliver the inheritance to the children of Israel, to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and let our brothers and sisters know that the Most High is calling us back to Zion.
Are you seeking to strengthen your biblical foundation? Join us in the Hebrew Bible Academy, where we offer 12 weeks of in-depth learning in a structured environment. Receive real-time news from Brother Rawchaa and amazing lessons by Elder Rawchaa. Learn ancient Hebrew with Elder Lawya. With 12 amazing lessons, you are guaranteed to learn more about your true biblical history and authentic Hebrew language than you would in a traditional Christian church, for only a one-time payment of $150 or 3 monthly payments of $50. Join us at historytimes.org and sign up today. It's not too late. See you in the academy.